Apparently I've got a type. This is really going to step outside my comfort zone for sure. And by step outside my comfort zone, I mean this book literally has the same colorist and literally the same letterer as the previous book I just discussed.
You know what
Look,
you're about.
exactly. I have a type, folks, and that type is Giant Robot Hellboy #2. Look, here's this book again. Here it is again.
So, wait, hold on. So you went from Hellboy
Yeah,
creators on an
yeah.
independent book to
Let's
a
go back
Hellboy
to the
book.
source,
Okay,
guys.
Nick.
Let's go back to the source. There's a through line here.
Okay.
Nick, you talked about this book maybe a month ago. Is it basically the exact same thing? Yeah, who cares? Like, people need to hear more about this. Look, if I don't stand up for Hellboy, if Mike Mignola does not have me in his corner, then who does this poor man who has had three movies to his name? Who does he turn to in this time of need?
Right. 20 plus years of success in the comic industry. Whatever will Mike Mignola
look, I
do?
gotta stand up for these indie creators, okay?
Oh my god, Nick, tell us about Giant Robot Hellboy 2, please.
Look, story by Mike Mignola. We've talked about this. That story is probably a 30-second voice message that he put on the artist's phone. Art by Duncan Fegredo. Letters by Dave Stewart. Letters by Clem Robbins. Look, it's just another issue of a giant robot that looks like Hellboy fighting a monster who is certainly not based on Godzilla for legal reasons. And Mike Mignola probably thinks to himself, well, how do I outdo that? And then true inspiration, wherever true inspiration comes from, it arrives. And that's when the titular Neon Genesis Trenchcoat Demon, I'm being witty here, that's Giant Robot Hellboy, in a move reminiscent of a late 1990s Mike Myers-led film, launched missiles out of his erect robotic nipples. Hopefully that's the first time and the last time I say that turn of phrase on this podcast. It's a very hell yeah moment that you then pause and think about for a few seconds afterwards.
I'm just going to say that for the folks on Patreon who get our show notes, you will be able to read that verbatim in this week's show notes. So support us on Patreon to get access to these raw notes.
Podcast notes after dark. Does this issue offer up more monsters? Absolutely. Does the mecha have even more weapons? Of course. The action ramps up, Fegredo's art looks even better than ever, and the mysterious B-plot only gets more intriguing. Maybe to a point, it's hinted at that Jesse Lonergan's recent Hellboy-verse efforts from earlier this year with Miss Truesdale and the Fall of Hyperborea may be tied into this book, which is such a weird little discovery. That will make sense for about 2 people.
Right, and you love it, though. That's the piece that you left off there, right?
Oh, God, yeah, it's super exciting. Like, I did not think I was going to see a very small little snippet of Jesse Lonergan's art somehow end up in this book, and yet it does. I won't say anything more on that. This book continues to be an absolute visual delight, and as I already said, haha, so weird. Dave Stewart again, Clem Robbins again. Like, they're on loaner from Mike Mignola. Like, Mike unshackles them from the table where they work misery style in the basement and says, you have to go work for Ben this month, but don't get too attached because I need you to come back here because I need help because the only person who advocates for me regularly is Nick White, and God bless him. And what would I do without him? Mike, put that on the back of your next trade. What would I do without him? Parentheses, Nick White, close parentheses. Yep.